When this student asked how we can prove the Bible's validity, Cliffe clapped back with an argument he didn't expect.
How do you prove the validity of the New Testament, considering that it has had so many translations, there are so many non-canon books that are not included, and we don't know how those are chosen. So how do you view that?
The New Testament was originally written in Greek. Today we have over 5,700 Greek manuscripts or pieces of manuscripts of the New Testament. We have approximately 10,000 Latin Vulgate manuscripts of the New Testament in the Latin Vulgate. And we have approximately 5,000 manuscripts in Ethiopic, Coptic, Armenian, Slavonic, Georgian, Gothic. So that means we've got about 20,000 handwritten manuscripts before the printing press when it was mass produced, handwritten from the 2nd century through the 10th century. There is no document that even approaches the New Testament in manuscript evidence. Today, we have Greek manuscripts of the entire New Testament. Those manuscripts of the entire New Testament are over 400 pages long, which means we have over 2.5 million pages of the New Testament. Not only that, we have about 1 million quotes of the New Testament from the Church Fathers, like Ignatius, Bishop of Antioch, Clement, Bishop of Rome, Papias, Polycarp, and others. So we have an incredibly high degree of certainty that we really have what the eyewitnesses wrote.
If the eyewitnesses, they wrote the Gospels 70 years after the death of Jesus, how do we know that everything put together, so many years, should we interpret everything in there as a fact?
Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Peter, James. We check Papias, we check the early church fathers, and the overwhelming evidence is this is historically accurate, especially when you consider that many of the eyewitnesses of Christ who saw him risen from the dead died, not for a belief. They died for what they claimed to have seen, the dead Christ risen from the dead. You will not die for what you know to be a lie. You might die for a lie, I might die for a lie. But you won't die for what you know to be a lie. Look at Watergate. Dean, Ehrlichman, and Haldeman, 3 brilliant American lawyers, under the pressure of the lawyers, said, oh, you're right, the Watergate scandal did happen. Don't put me into prison, please. So if those 3 American lawyers couldn't pull it off, don't tell me, please, that a bunch of Jewish first-century fishermen and tax collectors are going to pull it off. No. The historical evidence is Jesus really rose from the dead. That is why faith in Christ is not blind faith. That is why faith in Christ is not irrational. It's based on the resurrection of Christ, that he really rose from the dead.